Today we are going to be seeing how good Beamng Drive is as an off-road simulator. So I've started out with the Class 5 Piccolina here as a good baseline for sure. Probably the slowest vehicle we will use today. It still is pretty quick though. We're going to try to be, I believe it's a 6-minute time is like the first star for this trail. It's Crankshaft Pass. So I'm going to go through here. This vehicle will mostly be used as a bit of a reconnaissance run through this very tough whoop section. And we're gonna see how well Beamng Drive works as an off-road sim. I think it's probably the best example of one on the market right now. Certainly it works well. As you can see right now, we're just trying to jump through this section, not really staying on top like a supercross track of some kind. Here, I believe this is like the roughest section of the course. So far we're making okay time. Car's not damaged. It's really easy to damage a wheel in these buggies. This one's obviously a lot slower than most, but it still is very easy to damage or get a puncture, especially with all the rocks around. Now it's kind of gotten a little bit smoother, less whoops. Obviously still a very rutted section. Now it gets really smooth through the sand. Gonna have to be careful not to go too fast and make a mistake. Right there, it would be really easy to fetch up and flip over. I'm gonna try to drive as sensibly as possible through here, just because we don't want to crash immediately. Not the quickest accelerating vehicle. Obviously, it will get faster as we go along. Now we're in this like very doomy section, almost something you'd see in like Dakar rather than like a Baja rally. And now back to more Baja style terrain. Slow down through the rocks, don't want to get a puncture. I'm having trouble, I feel like with the gear ratios, I feel like I'm right in between 2 and 3, so I'm constantly shifting up and shifting down. Oh dear, we have found a rollover, and we are just going to flip upright How badly damaged are we? So far, not too bad, I think. I guess I'll find out. I'm hoping that it will just be cosmetic. Obviously with the buggies, as I previously mentioned, they're really easy to just knock off a wheel or damage it somehow and make it just impossible to turn. And we are going to be putting it through the paces with another rough section here. We are flying along. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. Oh goodness. Thank goodness this is a bit of a reconnaissance. I think 5 seconds to recover is fairly generous. How bad is it? No damage to the wheels yet, so we're pretty lucky. Gotten off pretty scot-free so far. Getting close to the end here. Another rough section. Not quite as rough as the beginning. Obviously, that's just straight, flat out whoops. Whereas this is more terrain deformation than anything. We're back on the sand. Car does not seem to be loving itself over the sand, but we are going to finish here in about 7 minutes 40, 7 minutes 38. Right, up next we have this Gavril D-Series pre-runner, kind of your in-between point of a stock pickup and a full-on trophy truck. I'm hoping this one's able to go a bit quicker. Obviously it is faster off the gate as we immediately wreck it. Oh no. We are going to reset the challenge here. Try that again. Obviously in these courses you do have to drive a little bit sensibly. You know, it's not a marathon, it is a sprint. I say that my commentating skills over top of the vehicles that are being driven is a bit lackluster. But we are just able to kind of eat up this part of the course. Obviously better suspension as well, more similar to a trophy truck rather than the buggy from before. And we're making pretty good speed, around 100 miles an hour, kind of fluctuating. Maybe it is more like 80, I don't know. Until we get kind of caught up there in the bushes. Gotta be careful of that. It's really easy to flip in these sections where it's just so rough like this. Big jump here. We're going to probably air it out a little bit. No problem there. Now we're through more of this sandier section. That was where the Class 5 car just did not have the pace in comparison to this. Much more grip, I find. It's not sliding so much. I mean, it's still very slidey. It's very easy to slide these things. As I clip a rock there, I think we're going to be okay, though. No puncture yet. Not paying enough attention to that. Again, able to air out more of those jumps now that not only do we know the course, but we're in a truck we're able to trust a little bit. Making much better time. Until we have a bit of a spin and oh no, another rollover. Ah, disappointing. We are going to be able to flip that. Again, only a cosmetic rollover. Luckily it was in the sand too. I would say that helped us rather than hurt us. Getting a little off course here. Gotta be careful with that. Those bushes and rocks will ruin your race just as quick as you can gain time. So far, I would say Beamng is probably been a really good off-road simulator, just based on how kind of realistic the physics can be. It's very brutal, the physics on this game, is where you're gonna find out. Oh no. It is very easy to make a mistake like that and just roll the truck immediately. This last section doesn't seem nearly as rough in this truck. Obviously we are not going to quite meet that 6-minute mark. I think had I been in a vehicle that, well, had I not rolled, I guess, I would have probably been okay. And we're going to cross the line in a 6:20.9. Now this is where it gets a lot more interesting. I will either go a lot quicker or I will crash tremendously. This thing is very loud, so I hope this works on the audio. Unlike the other two before, we were just flying through this section. No problems at all. Other than having to be a bit more careful than before as to not roll the truck, or the buggy, sorry. As I almost just did. Oh dear. Sometimes how we kind of keep it all on four wheels here. Although I may have some damage. Gonna flip it up right there. Oh, we are damaged for sure. Alright, we are gonna give that another try. And we'll have to be more careful not to hit anything. Possibly go a little slower through that whoop section. but it is so hard to drive this thing slow. It is the opposite of the Class 5 buggy. It is so fast. Acceleration. As we're like well over 80, sometimes close to 100 miles an hour, well over 100 now. Trying to be careful and not damage the steering. That time was certainly a lot better. Obviously, that does help to the sim aspects of this game, just how easy it is to damage the suspension. Just like in real life, you can't push through everywhere. Sometimes you do have to slow down. Oh dear. And another attempt where not only did we ruin the rear axle, but we ruined the front as well. So we will give that another go, I think. One more try with this. Obviously it is quite difficult to drive. Alright, here we go. Attempt number 3. Not going to harp on this one too long, I don't think. Got a little off course there. And that would be, I would say, the main problem with this buggy is you get slightly off course like this and it just completely destroys the front end of it. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it in enough goes to make it a watchable video. So we will move on to the last vehicle of this experience. So this is the main vehicle that they want you to use for this competition or race, I guess. It's much faster than the buggy, I believe, and it probably works a little better too, just in the sense that we probably aren't going to be breaking any wheels unless I drive like an idiot. Which, probably with the buggy I was driving like an idiot. So here we are just going to try to drive somewhat sensibly. Obviously you want to make it to the finish with good time. This vehicle isn't as fast, I don't think. It might be pretty close to the buggy. I think it is faster, but it's much easier to control, and I'm not so worried about getting off course, as I almost rolled it there, but not so worried about getting off course. Obviously we can take this jump a little bit bigger. Maybe not that big, but that was a bit huge. Most people probably would have slowed down for that huge jump. I probably should have, like I had in previous vehicles, but unfortunately I can't just rip off that body paneling. It's just kind of hanging on for dear life. slowed up for that corner. Gotta be careful with those rocks. Oh no, I'm stuck in the sand. Do a little quick donut. This sand is just so difficult to drive in as we get kind of more over to the rutted terrain where it is a lot easier. Another spin, oh no. Obviously the higher horsepower, the easier it is to just completely lose control. Finally we are gonna just depart from that piece of body, if I can remember how to use words. And we will pick the speed rate up here. Obviously with the suspension and everything, you can take sections like that way quicker. It's this sandy stuff that I seem to be struggling with, which I wouldn't have thought of before. Because in the other vehicles it was, you know, skill issues, but same as here I guess, but a little bit easier than this. Again, oh no, quick rollover. We're gonna get her flipped upright. Obviously missing some sponsor parts. You're not gonna be so pumped about that. But that is racing sometimes. Oh gosh. Again, if I didn't flip over, I feel like we'd have a better chance, as I believe we do have some issues with the front. Now we definitely do. So we will redo this. That section is just so hard to do. It's like, oh no. So that attempt went well. Alright, we should hopefully make it through this time. I really hope so anyways. Gonna just go hopefully somewhat steady. Obviously when you're going fast like this, it's so easy to just hit a bump wrong and lose the car completely. Obviously, they've done a lot to this game with Rally, so I wouldn't be shocked to see more off-road truck stuff added as well. It's just kind of the part I love about Beamng is it's kind of over the top, like variety. Like you get delivery driving, you get the weird sandbox stuff where you can just destroy everything. You get the goofy stuff, you get the fast stuff, you get the off-road stuff. It's all over the place, but it's really fun. And that's kind of the part I love. As we kind of roll over a little bit. Obviously a very gentle rollover there. Oh no, I should have slowed down. Oh, I should have slowed down. hopefully I can make it through this sand section without a spin. Alright, I believe that's the first sand section completed. No spin. Maybe a bit too quick through that section. I almost took myself out on the rocks. Got a little loose there, but we're going to make it through that other sand section, and we should be off to the races. I don't think there's another sand section on this course. Obviously, I don't have it memorized. I have been wrong before. This section is very sandy, but it's very short too, so we're back on the ruts. That sort of hard pack trail. So far we are looking good, I think, until I spin. Style points, that's what it was. It's just another 4 checkpoints to go, and we are at 4 minutes 44. Obviously it gets right slow through this section. Oh no! Oh no! So close to the finish too. Ah. Oh. Well, we would have made it. I was pushing too hard. Oh goodness. But anyways, I would say that kind of illustrates my point of Beamng being a good off-road race simulator. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.